Hello friends! The current period is chaotic and loaded with intense events. The powerful changes and instability affect all of humanity and each one of us personally, so that many of us live in uncertainty and anxiety. Therefore, in this short teaching, I want to talk to you about our lack of knowledge and living in a dusky world. The Kabbalah teaches that we live in a world of concealment. How was this reality created and why does it exist? Before the universe was created and within it our world, simple infinite light existed everywhere. This light of the Creator filled everything and did not leave any empty space. When the Creator wanted to create the world, a vessel that would contain His abundant light, He had to form an empty space within Himself, where creation could be formed and exist. Therefore, the Creator reduced His infinite light and created within Himself a space empty of light. Within this space, the Creator began to build a system of walls, that each one of them gradually filtered the primordial light. These are the worlds of Abia, Atzilut, emanation, Bria, formation, Yetzirah, creation, and Asiya, manifestation. Each world received a smaller amount of light than the world that came before it. In every world that was formed, there was a greater reduction of the eternal light. As we go inward, the light becomes dimmer. If in the world of emanation the light of the Creator is very powerful, then in the world of formation the light is reduced, and in the world of manifestation the light is scanty. Only a thin line of light extending from infinity reaches it to sustain the creatures. That is why our world is considered as a world of concealment. A world where the light of the Creator is covered by many screens, where the presence of the Creator is hidden from us. And what does it have to do with us? The material dimension in which we exist was created within the world of manifestation. The dimness of light that prevails here makes our perception of reality very limited. We must rely on our five senses, which are imperfect by nature, and only a few of us get to look beyond the veil and see the big picture. In other words, we spend most of our lives in lack of understanding, a lack of knowledge of the spiritual truth that generates reality, a kind of spiritual blindness. When our perception of reality is limited, we tend to interpret the events of our lives through thought and emotion only, and this interpretation is partial by its nature. We tend to interpret what has been happening around us as a reality of chaos and collapse towards the end of the world, and our troubles as punishment for bad things we have done, or as life's cruelty to us. It is difficult for us to understand the cosmic plan that generates the events we experience, and for what purpose. As a result, we find ourselves frustrated and perplexed. We develop fears, self-doubt, our confidence is shaken, and we may feel victimized by life, become cynical, and lose our faith. These are some of the characteristics of living in the dark. So, what should we know? The concealment of the light of the Creator in our dimension has a very clear purpose. In this darkness, we need to invest efforts to reconnect to the light. This is the rectification of mankind living in the world at this era. The rectification is done through expansion of consciousness and spiritual development, which allow us to absorb greater amounts of the Creator light, and thus overcoming the darkness that surrounds us. The Kabbalah calls this spiritual work tikkun, soul rectification. As our consciousness expands, we are able to see the larger picture of reality, the one that exists beyond the perception of our limited senses, and thereby we transform our automatic response to the process of life. Our approach to difficulty and suffering changes and turns into perceiving hardships as opportunities for growth. When we grow spiritually, we understand that everything that happens in our world is done with perfect precision, according to the great cosmic plan, which is the thought of creation. That the Creator is present in our lives down to the level of the smallest details, and that His purpose is to lead us to growth and prosperity. This is how we feel when we reconnect to the light from a world in which we cannot see our way. The Kabbalah teaches us how to get there and how to create an enlightened reality for ourselves. If you want to learn more about the subject of soul rectification, you are welcome to explore my online course on Udemy. The details appear under this video. So thank you for being with me, and I will see you in the next teachings.